you've had your fill of quadruple and now quintuple A games, the Triple I Showcase this weekend gave us a ton of high-quality indie productions to look forward to. We'll give you the highlights.
And we got a bunch of new info on Star Wars Outlaws. Some good, some bad. We're going to talk about all this stuff and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for a brand new episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. Find us on Fruit Lab, YouTube, podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red. I'm joined every week by this man right here, full clip. What is going on?
What's up? Doing good. You know, it's true what they say about history repeating itself, because once again, I come to you having played nothing new, just snuck in a little Hell Let Loose. And the reason for that, mostly this time, is because the Fallout TV series just dropped over on Amazon Prime. I've watched it, 8 hours of it by myself, and 4 more hours of it rewatching it with my wife, because history repeating itself, that's just how it works with these shows.
I thought you were going to say, I was going to give you a little leeway. You know, you're a busy man. You know, it's like, I know you don't got time to play these games all the time, but no, now I see how it is. You're just watching television nonstop over and over again.
When it's this good, yes.
Is it really good? I haven't watched it yet. I think we're watching it tomorrow. I'm going to do it for the First Eps podcast. I'm very excited. It's getting great reviews, though.
So yeah, I look forward to that.
You're enjoying it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm not the biggest Fallout fan. Dipped my toes into 3 in New Vegas, and then really played 4. But, you know, from that more casual perspective, there's a lot to love in there. There's a lot of, like, Easter eggs and things thrown in, not really even thrown in your face, just, like, subtle details. You really feel like this is taking place in that Fallout world.
Awesome. That's what I've heard. Like, everybody's saying that it really does the games justice. And, you know, that's how you have to cater to the fans of the game when you do this, or else it's going to be like Halo, you know, and we all know how that went, which it's still going, though. Halo is still chugging right along, even though it doesn't have the
I don't know who's watching it, but
right, yeah, it's weird. I've been picking up the slack for you on the video game front. I've been playing lots of games, a lot of indie games. I'm excited to talk about that Triple I Showcase in a little bit. One indie game I've been playing, it's Metroidvania, just came out last week, called Biomorph. And the premise of this one is really different. So Metroidvanias, they're all pretty similar. You know, you got to progress through this map. You go back and forth. You get new powers and stuff like that. This one kind of shakes things up a little bit in that as you're going, you come across these enemies. And if when you kill the enemies, you have the option to, like, become the enemies, like Kirby style, you know, and you get their powers. And that's how you either progress through this next section or whatever. You have this new power that this crazy looking enemy creature has. And it's a lot of fun. It's really, really well done. There's, like, I think 18 different creatures that you can become, and they all have different abilities. Some are not, great, but some of them are really interesting. And the best thing is they all look super cool. Everything in the world is, like, hand drawn, and it's got, like, this really cool animation style. I'm becoming more and more a fan of Metroidvanias. Like, every week, every time I try a new one, I'm like, I'm getting, a buddy of mine is, like, the king of Metroidvanias, and he's always telling me about these new ones to check out and stuff like that. And I think that's helped, having an idea of, which ones to avoid, which ones to check out. And Biomorph, it's a good one. Fans of Metroidvanias, go check out Biomorph. Big fan of that.
Yeah, you gotta know, because they're coming out on a weekly basis, and
dude,
some of them they clearly don't shake anything up, so that's cool about this one.
Yeah, he sent me a list, so he follows he's on the Metroidvania subreddit, which I should get on. But he sent me, like, a list. He's like, we're eating good this month, and there was, like, 20 Metroidvanias coming out, and it was like, damn, there's so many of them. But the other game that I played, and I played it the past 2 days for quite a while, and I had no intention of playing this at all. Sea of Thieves, the closed beta started on PlayStation, and I saw one of my gaming buddies was online Friday night playing it, and I was like, "Oh, how do you get into this? You got to pre-order the game to get in the closed beta." So, I get on there and I message him. I'm like, "How is it? Is it fun? Could you see us sinking some time into this?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm having a good time," but he's like, "I think it'll be more fun with more people." So I bought the deluxe edition right then, friggin' like $60, whatever. The game itself is $40, but you could get the deluxe edition. It comes with the season pass and like all this other bullshit. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. I had like gift cards from like that PlayStation Stars program and like some other stuff. So I just had like enough. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. And let me tell you, we had so much fun, dude. We played it for about, I don't know, 5 hours. Friday night, I was up until like 3 a.m. playing it. And then Saturday night, same thing. We got another buddy of ours get in there and ran into some people, like strangers that we didn't know that were like really cool and like helped us out, joined our crew and stuff like that. It is a fun game. This is exactly what I wanted out of Skull and Bones.
Right.
And it's a little weird. Like I'm figuring it out as I go, and I'm sure people that have played it for years and years and years are gonna be like, oh, "This guy's an idiot." But like, there's a lot to figure out as far as like how to do things and whatever. But I'm having fun, man. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Have you played it?
Yeah, played it for a little while. That one, yeah, it's strange because you do have a better time if you can get a friend involved because you're just kind of limited to the size of the ship. And if you go out
Yes.
there and you're against these like 4-person ran galleys or whatever the largest ship is called, you're just gonna get smoked in the tiny little
Yeah.
schooner ship.
Yeah. Well, a story about that is that my one other friend so he's dabbled in the game for years on Xbox. And always just by himself. Never had a crew, but he was able to do like enough where like I signed in, and all of a sudden he's on this giant ship, and it's just like 2 newbies and him trying to figure out how to steer and move this ship around. It was ridiculous. And then we came across like a much smaller ship, and we attacked them, and they killed us, dude. It was so embarrassing. It was very embarrassing. They boarded our ship and like killed us, and then just the ship sunk, and we just had to watch it go. But it was fun. We had fun doing it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, you didn't lose any treasure out of that, did you?
I think we did. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think it was more about more supplies. It was right after we had delivered a bunch of treasure, and then we just had like all these supplies, and it was not good. But I was laughing the whole time. So, I consider it a win. But yeah, anybody out there who's been playing the game for years and years, send me the tips. I need to know how to be the best pirate I can be. And let me tell you though, the water effects in this game, gorgeous. Like I was just sitting up in the crow's nest or whatever, watching like the sunset over the water, and I was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
I was a little drunk, but
when it starts spilling into the bottom of your boat while you're trying to fight a storm.
Bucket. I'm just trying. Yeah. It's great. Yeah, so many like crazy weather effects and stuff. Yeah, I'm a Sea of Thieves fan. I will definitely get back in there when it releases. I think it comes out April 25th or something.
Nice.
All right, should we move things along?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get into our new releases from last week. All right, first up, Children of the Sun came out on PC on April 9th. This is a new game from Devolver Digital, and it is a third-person puzzle shooter. That's the grouping of words we'll use for this one. Basically, it's like you play as like a magic bullet that there's one bullet. You're a sniper, you have one bullet, and you control the bullet. So you got to like hit your target, and then you can go after another target, or you could go around things. It's a whole thing. but it looks really, really cool. The art style is it's dark, it's weird, and then it's like these puzzles that you have to solve by shooting people in the head. So it's an interesting.
Did you ever see those games? I think they were called Sniper Elite, but it was all about like
Mm-hmm.
you shoot your bullet, and then it shows like the close up X-ray
Yeah.
vision of all the damage it's doing. This
Yes.
reminds me so much of that, except you're just like
Absolutely.
you can curve that bullet a little bit if you need to.
Exactly. Yeah, it definitely was like that with a much more different art style. But yeah, it looks good. I did read that it's short, but it has replayability in that you're trying to you go for the high score. There's different ways to solve the puzzles, and you want to get that high score. But it's definitely on my wish list. Another interesting looking one, Inkbound, also came out on PC on April 9th. This one just came out of early access. And the reason I want to talk about this one is from the same developers that did Monster Train, which is one of my favorite deck builders. So this is not a deck builder. It is a roguelike, but it's a turn-based, like tactical roguelike. And in it, you've got like all these different classes and different enemies and abilities and items, and you got to just go through and get as far as you can. It's like one of those cycle things. You go through, you beat a boss, you replay it, and each time getting better equipment and stuff like that, and just seeing how the story plays out as you progress. You can play it solo, or you can play it with up to 4 people. And one thing that I thought was interesting is that it's a tactical game, but it's in real time. So if you're playing with friends, you could both attack at the same time. It's not grid based, but it does have area type attacks. It looks really interesting. This one is again on my wish list. I'm taking a break from buying some games for a little bit again, and but both of those, Children of the Sun and Inkbound, were both like really calling me this weekend.
Nice. Getting demos of either? I know there's one for Children of the Sun, but I'm not sure about Inkbound.
That's a good idea. I should just check out the demos there. I don't think there was one for Inkbound. But Children of the Sun, there definitely was, and I forgot about it. So that's a good idea. I should try out the demo and see what it's all about. All right, and then last up, Botany Manor came out on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and Nintendo Switch, also on April 9th. This one is a first-person puzzle game set in a Victorian English manor, and it's about growing these fictitious plants by, you find clues to how to grow them. Like, you need to add this, or something needs to be happening here, and then you'll grow a plant. It's supposed to be very, very cozy and a very enjoyable puzzle experience. There's no rush. You just do it. You just grow some plants, baby.
Now, in case anybody's as dumb as me, I feel we should clarify here, because last time we briefly mentioned this because it was coming to Game Pass or something.
Yeah.
And we said, like, Botany Manor, don't know what that is, but it's a puzzle game. I was thinking that this was just going to be straight up like Gardenscapes. If you've ever seen the ads or played any of those games for mobile.
Yeah.
This isn't that kind of puzzle, thankfully. This is like more of like BioShock or...
Myst.
Right, yeah. Those types of 3D, you're in an environment puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. It's probably because of, like, you ever see Merge Manor?
Yeah, that's the one.
It's like, yes. So you're thinking of that. Botany Manor, it's like that. But no, it's not. I always wondered about that Merge Manor, dude. I always see the commercials for it, and it has, like, big celebrities, like, pimping this game. And I'm like, what? I don't even know. But yeah, this one, I wanted to get a chance to try it out on Xbox, but I didn't get in there. Again, it's supposed to be a short one. You could finish it in 4 or 5 hours, but from everything I've heard, a very enjoyable experience. All right, that's it for our new releases. Let's get into our news of the week. All right, let's kick things off with a little chat about the Xbox. So Sarah Bond has become the president of Xbox, and she's been there for a few months now, and she finally she released a statement, not to the public, but to the people working at Xbox, and it had a lot of interesting quotes in it. So I'm going to read a few of those. First up pertains to the next gen console. So she says, we are moving full speed ahead on our next generation hardware, focused on delivering the biggest technological leap ever in a generation. So that's exciting. It could mean so many things. We've been talking about these technological leaps in terms of when we're talking about the PlayStation Pro and like what that's going to do and like what this could do. I don't know enough about this hardware that goes into computers to like really understand what it could be. But like I look at some stuff coming out now on Unreal Engine 5 that looks so realistic. I don't know what the next step is. Now maybe having a PC background, you're all about those 690 TX graphics cards and shit like that. So I don't know what do you think this means? What's the biggest jump?
Gosh, I really don't know. I mean, if you want to cram enough money into it, I'm sure you can make a huge jump like that. I think we have to take into account what year the PlayStation 5 came out and get like a baseline of its power then versus what's out now. Because, I don't know, to me it seems like we've kind of hit a plateau where you don't necessarily need, like, you could get 128 gigabytes of RAM or double that to 265 or whatever and put that into a PC, but you couldn't use that. We're at this plateau right now where it's like the power is gradually going up year by year with every new release of these of graphics cards and speeds of SD cards and everything else. But I don't know what's going to make that jump between the Xbox Series X that's going to be double.
Yeah, crazy. Is it going to be the double X, or triple X? Cool.
Knowing their naming conventions, I don't even want to know. It'll be the Xbox.
They're going to just switch to. It'll be like Xbox 7.
Yes.
What? She also talked about AI and how they're working on innovations in gaming AI. She said, we are innovating in gaming AI, focused on delivering player-first, developer-first value for discovery, engagement, and creator velocity. No clue what any of that means, but, everybody's focused on trying to get AI to either work for them faster or develop things cheaper. So,
that may be the answer to the last question too, because this new like AI upscaling and AI in unison with like your GPU. I don't know. I don't understand it. I've not looked that much into it, but if that has made some gigantic leap and bound on the Xbox platform, maybe that's how they're going to double.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I really don't know what it's capable of, but it's everywhere, man. It's either going to change the world for the better or for the worse as AI. You hear different stories every day. And then another thing she touched on was Activision Blizzard games. And so she said, we are integrating Activision Blizzard King titles into our services. We launched Diablo 4 into Game Pass, and Xbox has quickly become the #1 platform for D4 players. We are integrating with Battle.net, all while launching Call of Duty Warzone Mobile and preparing for the upcoming Hellblade 2, Avowed, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Some great games, man. It's pretty crazy knowing that those games are just going to be available to subscribers of Game Pass when they come out, because, like, it's pretty cool just knowing if you're a subscriber, if you're paying that monthly fee, that you're going to have just those AAA, huge new titles there, preloaded, even if you want, when they come out. So it's quite a change from when we grow up buying one major title every once in a while to now, if you pay, what is it, $12 a month or whatever, and you could have that. Yeah. So I know
that's fantastic.
Doing like you talked about, and that's another way to go. Like, I ended up buying like the 3-year plan or whatever. So when that runs out, what you do is, like, you see a game that comes out to Game Pass, you'll pay for a month or whatever, play the game for a month, if it fizzles out, then you move on. That's another, great way to do it too. Whereas you're just, something looks good, because you're not playing, like, it's some of these games like Indiana Jones, that's a one and done, it doesn't have a live service part to it. So, it's pretty cool. And then one of the other things she talked about, the topic of game preservation, and this has been a pretty, hot topic lately with these digital games being removed from services or just being taken away from people that have purchased them. And Xbox has always been really great about the backwards compatibility and just being able to play games that you have physical copies of. And she does mention, it says, we have formed a new team dedicated to game preservation, important to all of us at Xbox and the industry itself. We are building on our strong history of delivering backwards compatibility to our players, and we remain committed to bringing forward the amazing library of Xbox games for future generations of players to enjoy. So, they got a whole team working on game preservation over there, which is great to hear. When I just read an article yesterday about Ubisoft like removing licenses for people that paid for The Crew. I don't know too much about it, but which is crazy. You buy a game and then you can't play it.
Yeah. I think people in that who were still enjoying that were hoping to do like a homebrew kind of fan-run servers so that they could continue to play the game with maybe after a couple hacks or something. But yeah, that's the thing. And then they just start removing these licenses so you just don't have access to play the game, period. Well, you are kind of begging for piracy at that point, it seems like. But,
right.
But so, yeah, what Xbox is doing with the game preservation, it all sounds really good on the surface. I think we like game preservation. We want to be able to play these things in 30 years, 40 years, if you want to go back and experience that again. And it's been easy going so far because when we were kids, it was all physical copies. And it's just getting harder and harder to actually be able to play something. So by name, it sounds great. I'm just wondering how much of that is going to be the physical factor or how much of it is, well, we're going to re-release this game in its Xbox 360 version. You'll be able to pay us $50 again to download it again.
True. Yeah. At a certain point, it does come back to cost and money and stuff like that. I don't know. Xbox has always been pretty good about giving people the games that they have purchased in the past access to, in the future forever. So hopefully they'll be that way and it'll stay the same. But yeah, who knows? There is a showcase, an Xbox showcase coming up in June. I believe like June 6th. So I'm looking forward to that. We should have a lot more new info coming out of that. Speaking of new info, Star Wars Outlaws, we got a brand new story trailer. Looks fantastic. Again, I've talked about it before. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. Neither of us really are huge Star Warsies. Do they have a name?
Star
Warheads?
Warriors, I think that's what they call them.
Oh, I like that. But this one, man, this one's got me. It's a little bit, it's not that Jedi-focused story. This one's outside of that, and it's got me excited. I watched this new trailer, and I'm like, dude, I might be buying a brand new Star Wars game when this comes out because it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I had the same feeling. Is this one an open world, or is it supposed to be kind of linear with portions of an open world? I think we said something about that in the past.
Yeah, open. It's definitely open world. Tons of different areas too, because you go between different planets and moons, and there are these open areas to explore. I got a little blurb here. It says, this is what the creative director said about the game. In search of true freedom, the resourceful Kay and Nix will journey through the underworld across the Outer Rim, taking on jobs from syndicates, facing off against intimidating foes, avoiding oppressive Imperial rule, and recruiting a skilled outlaw crew in order to pull off one of the greatest heists the galaxy has ever seen. You engage in chases, evasive maneuvers, dogfights, while you're in your ship. You explore busy cities, cantinas, sprawling overworld areas, and sounds great, man. It looks great, sounds great. They did give us a release date, August 30th. This one's coming. So, you could save up, and you could buy the one of 3 editions that are available. The base game, $70. And then there's the gold edition you could get. It's got 3 days early access, season pass, and a couple pre-order bonuses. That one's $110, and then the ultimate edition comes with the season pass, digital art book, some add-on content, and that one is $130. So, you've got your options. Gets a little pricey if you want some of that content, but it's Ubisoft. We expect no less.
Yeah, I get it for like when you're getting physical objects and stuff like that. It's always been that way. You get like your RC car for Black Ops and all kinds of cool stuff like that. But
what happened to that? They don't do that anymore.
Right. But a gold edition that gives you like 3 days and some skins. Oh, I don't know if I'm paying the extra $40 for the for that.
Yeah, it does have some DLC. I don't know if they've announced exactly what DLC it's going to come with. So I guess, but like when you're asking for, especially for pre-orders on games like this, I don't know. Don't get me started. That's a whole other topic talking about pre-orders. But one other thing that people are a little upset about is that it is a single-player story game, but you will need to be able to be online with it. So right off the bat, a lot of people are annoyed, mad, and I get it. It doesn't make sense, but it's because what they're going to do is they're going to put out a game that's not finished, and then they're going to have a day one update. This is what gaming is now, and it's an unfortunate thing. You put in this game, you buy the disc, you have the physical disc, you put it in your thing, you got to install the whole game onto there, and then you got to download another 50 gigabyte update because the gaming industry is stupid. But it's unfortunate. That's it's just the way it is now, and I get people being upset, but we gotta lead with our wallets here. We gotta and just not buy this shit if they're gonna do it. But I don't see any other way that they're gonna do it. This is still gonna sell. And for me, I buy everything digital anyway. So it's like I'm always online. I'm not one of those that does complain about it because I am like my shit's always plugged in. It's always online. And I'm lucky enough to have that, that option. So I get the people that don't have like all this, data is expensive. And I get that people could be upset about it. And unfortunately, for the Star Wars fans, it's another case of that.
Yeah. I still want to play it.
I do too, man. I do too. It looks great. The characters look fun. And I got great internet, so. All right, next up, we had our first ever Triple I Initiative Showcase on April 10th. They had more than 30 studios showcasing some of their latest indie projects. So the Triple I is like this new, I don't know, it's like a new company or something that really showcases independent games and just trying to get them out there. And I love independent games. I've been playing more indie games than ever since I got my Steam Deck. In fact, I think that's the majority of what I'm playing and the games I look forward to the most because they're simple and it's all about the gameplay,
Right.
So some of the games they announced at this showcase: Slay the Spire 2, which Slay the Spire is one of my favorite games. That game got me into deck builders, which is like currently my favorite genre of gaming, and I am absolutely super excited for Slay the Spire 2. They did follow through. Remember back when Unity was doing all their bullshit and charging everybody extra money? They said they were one of the ones that led the initiative and said, we're done with them. They left Unity and they built this on a brand new engine. Good for them. Some other cool games. Kill Knight is this isometric, super gory, ultra violent shooter that I immediately wishlisted after I saw the trailer. It looks fantastic. Another one, Rakugaki. It's like I think it's just RKGK or something was like the actual name of the game. I don't have it written down, but that's how you pronounce it. And it's like this cyberpunk world where you spray graffiti on things. That one looks fantastic. Then we got updates for Risk of Rain 2. There's like a new DLC coming out or something. I don't know. Vampire Survivors has a Contra DLC mode coming out, so it's adding Contra and guns and stuff to their game. In addition to that, they announced that it's coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 on May 9th. My Time at Sandrock, they announced it's getting multiplayer. So if you're a fan of that game, you can play with your friends. Death Must Die, got an Act 2. Darkest Dungeon, got some new content. And then we got a new trailer for that mouse, the Mickey Mouse, like black and white looking game. That was really cool. So it was a great showcase, man. There was a ton of stuff. If you're a fan of indie games, go check it out, because those were really just the ones that struck me.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't say Dino Lords.
Dino Lords, yeah, that one actually, we were really high on that one when it came out, and then I saw this new trailer, and I felt a little less excited about it. I don't know. Right. I think it limits what you can do with the dinosaurs.
Yeah. In the first trailer, we sort of got the sense that you would be using these things too and making some like mounts out of them or possibly training them yourself. And this trailer certainly makes it look like you're not going to be doing anything. It's only the enemies that have them.
Right. Yeah, it was a bummer. But some bigger games that they talked about too. Pal World is getting a arena mode later this year, and then Prince of Persia is a new game called Rogue Prince of Persia. It's a roguelike Metroidvania. They showed that game off. Now that is from Ubisoft, not an indie game. I don't know, or indie studio. I don't know why this was there, but it looks cool. It's coming in May. 2 Prince of Persia Metroidvanias in just a matter of a few months. Very strange, but they both look great. So definitely, if you're a fan of these simple indie games, go check out the showcase, because it was like bam, one after another, really cool games announced. Something for everybody too. Was there anything that from there that I didn't touch on that you dug besides Dino Lords?
No, I think that's just about everything.
All right. PlayStation Plus announced their game catalog update for April for the PlayStation Plus Premium and Extra, and they are stepping up their game, and it's about time. They're offering some quality titles here in April. They are Animal Well, Day 1 game. That one launches on May 9th. That one I had to look into, and I had not heard of it, but I'm really excited for it. It looks fantastic. It's like a puzzle Metroidvania. There's no combat or anything like that. Tales of Zenzara Zao, we've talked about that a bunch. That comes out April 23rd. That's also a Day 1 game. It's the Metroidvania from Abu Bakr Salim, where we talked about it before, where it's about his grief, about his father's passing, and he put it into this beautiful looking Metroidvania game. Very excited for that one to come out. And then Dave the Diver, that's coming out this month, and it is going to be available on the PlayStation Plus catalog. Oddballers, Construction Simulator, The Crew 2, Raji, an Ancient Epic, Lego Ninjago Movie, Gnawer, Play With Your Food. I don't know what that is, but just based on the picture, I'm in. I'm going to play it. Deliver Us Mars, Lego Marvel's Avengers, Miasma Chronicles, Stray Blade, and then for premium, they also get Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire, and Medieval. So fantastic announcement for this lineup. Some great games and 3 brand new games to PlayStation. So
right.
Cool.
As soon as I saw the listing, I thought they must have seen our last episode, giving them such negative numbers. This is clearly like a 9 or 9.5 for me.
Yeah, dude, it has so many great games. Some bunch of games that I've wanted to try. Some Lego games. You can't go wrong with some Lego joints. But yeah, just those 3 brand new games too, are all good. And I've never played Construction Simulator. It's one of the few simulator games that I haven't tried.
That one caught my eye. I used to have this Tonka construction game for Windows 95 way back in the day, and I kind of want to get into this and see what it's like.
Yeah, and I feel, just looking at the thing, I feel like it's from our friends over there at Playway. It has the similar aesthetic. So
you mean that in a good way, right?
Yeah. Man, they don't ever go wrong, man. They're putting out quality stuff. If it is them, if not, they could suck an egg. But yeah, good stuff. I highly recommend Dave the Diver. Fantastic game, and I've been planning on buying Tales of Zera's out since it was announced. So now I can enjoy it right there on PlayStation Plus. Although I think my PlayStation Plus subscription is up soon, and I've been contemplating re-upping it or not. And now this makes my decision a lot harder because I think I've said it in previous months that I'm not going to because I have too much content already. But I don't know. We'll see.
A lot of gold right here.
Yeah. All right. We talked about it earlier. The Fallout series was released on Prime to rave reviews at a 94 on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Full Clip gives it 2 thumbs up. And to celebrate that, Prime Gaming, the Prime Gaming division of Amazon Prime, they've been offering some free stuff. Fallout 76 you could claim right now for free. That's available until May 24th. And then also Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are available free. You just have to play them through Luna, the cloud gaming thing, which is not ideal. But, if you don't have them, never played them, they're free. Check it out. If you've got a good, internet that you could play some cloud gaming. And then in addition to that, they just announced that Fallout 4 is finally going next gen, or is it current gen? I don't know how that all works. But April 25th, they're going to be putting out an update for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X. Includes a bunch of enhancements, put it up to 60 frames per second, performance quality mode options, and then a bunch of bug fixes and that sort of thing. And then on top of that, like just a bunch of new content. So a lot of new in-game stuff that you could come across and play with, and then on top of that, they're even updating it for the PC fans. They're making it work with widescreen and ultra widescreen, and then verifying it for Steam Deck, which is cool. So a lot of things going on with Fallout since the show came out and came out to such rave reviews. So it's pretty cool. You've said you played Fallout 4 was the one you got into big time, right?
Yeah. So I played that a lot on the PlayStation, but now that I've moved over to PC, really thinking about getting it again. I would have liked to have found it on sale, but this makes me think it's not going to be on sale again for a while. It was like under $10 when it was on sale.
Yeah, it was like $4.99 this weekend.
I should have grabbed it.
Let me see if it still is while we're talking about it. But yeah, because I almost bought it. I almost bought both Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, Fallout 4 is $4.99 on Steam right now.
Okay, I'm definitely grabbing it this weekend. Might not get into it right away, but I want to have that on deck for when the new updates and stuff come out. Try it out.
Yeah, you can get the Game of the Year edition for $9.99. That comes with all the DLC and stuff. But yeah, and then I think New Vegas is $2.49 and Fallout 3 Game of the Year is $4.99. So some big sales to go along with this, this big celebration that they're having over there at Bethesda / Amazon. So that's pretty cool that that the success of the show has brought more attention to the game, and hopefully other things in the future, like new movies and shows coming out, will do that. One possible new movie that could do that, Dredge, the fishing game, the creepy fishing game. They announced that that's getting a live action film adaptation with the log line. This is the tagline for the movie. It says, or not tagline for the movie, this is what they're pitching. They said, think The Sixth Sense on the water, a grounded, atmospheric, cosmic horror blend of H.P. Lovecraft and Ernest Hemingway. It's like, all right, I could see that. I enjoyed Dredge. Did you ever play Dredge?
I didn't play it.
It was weird. It was a very weird game. I never finished it, but
Did it
the
have
premise
like some
is,
puzzle elements to it?
yeah, some, and then it was like ultimately really just like a fishing game where you just go out, you fish, you get weird, every once in a while you get some weird fish that are worth more. You sell those, you upgrade your boat, you go out, you buy some more fish. But there was this overarching story that ties it all together and about sea monsters and creepy stuff. So I could see that, getting in here and making for a decent story. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know, but I'm excited. It sounds interesting. The developer of the film, they said, Dredge is a captivatingly eerie and profoundly rich story that had us completely hooked from the very beginning. See what they did there? Hooked. Oh, yeah. Oh, tricky. You thought we forgot about it, but this is it, baby. Top 5 of the week. Top 5. It's a top 5. Top 5. All right, this is the top 5 video games that we would love to see as a movie or a television show. We had some very different lists on this one. Now, this was, I knew it was going to happen. I thought we were going to have some similarities, but the problem is it could be any video game that we thought of, and we're like, yeah, this. So, it's all over the place.
You mean you didn't have Dance Dance Revolution on yours too?
I did not. You had some strange ones, but yeah, unfortunately, those did not make the list, and this is our top 5. So a tie for number 5, The Sims and Metroid. Now, so you picked The Sims. The Sims was not on my list, but it did make it onto our top 5 here. What do you envision this movie being about?
I really don't know. I just I think the premise of The Sims and it being so weird has a lot of potential, and I guess Hollywood does too, because it's coming out with Margot Robbie.
That's crazy. I want them to do it like, I was thinking about it then after, where it is like a fish out of water type situation, where it's like a literal Sims character, doesn't know shit, has like that diamond above their head, but they're put in the real world, like Barbie style, like the new movie Barbie, or like Coneheads. You ever seen the movie Coneheads, where they're like aliens put in the real world? Like that. And they're like a bunch of dum-dums and just kind of like figuring things out. And,
that'd be interesting. Or if your Sims character started to like gain sentience and realize that things were being controlled around them.
Oh yes, that's a good one. That's a little bit of a more horror element. They come out of the computer and they're like, yeah.
How cool would it be if the filming style was a top-down, like walls but no ceilings to the house kind of thing?
Oh, all right. We're getting a little crazy. And then Metroid is, it is what it is. It makes complete sense, and I don't know why they haven't done that. Probably because it's a Nintendo-owned property. But I mean, a female lead action movie. It just why? I don't understand why they haven't done that. Number 4, Zelda, which you informed me that there's something coming out possibly for that as well.
I slightly remember it being like another Illumination thing that they announced right after the Super Mario movie.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember us talking about something like that and what we would want out of a Zelda movie or show. And that surprises me. What would you prefer on this one? A Zelda movie, you think, or a show? Which one would make more sense?
Ooh. If it's going to be from Illumination through that studio, I think they're great at movies. I don't know if they make any TV shows, so I'd go with that.
Yeah. All right, number 3, Titanfall. I was surprised that we always talk about Titanfall. I was surprised this one wasn't on your list, but that's a damn good pick. Yeah, thank you. It's, just like a military thing. You're jumping in the Max Pacific Rim style, high action. Think Pacific Rim meets, Fast and the Furious meets
right.
Some military thing.
Plus, those games always want to be like story heavy, much more story heavy than I care to play. I just want the multiplayer. I want Call of Duty with mechs. So if they want to tell a story, here's a great way to do it.
There you go. All right, number 2. This is another tie. This was our top 2. Yours and mine are top 2 number 1s. Mine was Bloodborne. I would love to see like a dark take on a Bloodborne, either in television or movie. And then yours was Grand Theft Auto, which again I think would make for a great series more than anything, because I do feel like each one of them is kind of like their own movie,
right?
but yeah, put that into like a overarching long series. I don't know. Have a little comedy in there, a little crime. Makes sense. And then number one, the one that we really agreed on here, Red Dead Redemption. Make that a movie. I mean, each one, RDR 1 and 2, are both just really long-ass movies in what they are. But give us just another story. Put those characters out there. Just let's see it. It makes sense, dude. Like, yeah, just a nice Western story. And, I'm in. Great
I'd even go for a TV show. I guess the question is, how would they make it different than all the other Western TV shows and stuff like 1873, whatever it was?
Well, that's the thing.
And I think they got to go
hot
gore
right now.
Right.
Yeah. Make it really R-rated, what's that, Deadwood or whatever? That was like, cursing, nudity, violence. Make that, but get the story of.
Right. Make Deadwood look like a preschool.
Exactly. All right, and there you have it. Those are the top 5, well, more than 5, games that we would love to see as a television series or a movie. Let us know if there's anything that we left out, or you would prefer. I had Mass Effect in my original list, and I thought that would have been a good one too. That didn't make the cut, but it made me really want to go play Mass Effect. So I'm gonna do that. I bought the Mass Effect trilogy on PC when it was cheap, so I was like, I'm just gonna play the game again. It's basically a movie in itself. So
yeah, man, I was surprised doing some research on this and seeing what's upcoming and what's already supposed to be out there. Skull and Bones is supposed to get a movie or a TV show. It's like to be announced, but I can't believe it was such a flop, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It would probably be cooler than the game.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. One that surprised me, BioShock. That was on my list, and I saw that one's on the list to be coming out as a movie or show at some point in the future too. Which, now that I talk about it, it does sound familiar. I think it's a show coming sometime soon. Anyways, all right. That's it. That's it for this show. Is there anything else that you want to chat about or that we missed?
Nah, that's it.
Bingo. Let's get out of here. Thanks so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. We appreciate you. Be sure to go subscribe to all our things. We're on YouTube at Pop Culture Playground. That's where you can find this show every Monday, the video version over there, YouTube. Or you could just go to any podcast app, whatever you call them, and type in GNW, and you will also get the podcast version of the show. Subscribe to that. You listen to that every Monday as well. And then find us on Fruit Lab. It's a great website where you can watch video game content or stuff like this, or we're both putting out stuff there occasionally, and it's a fun website. You could earn cryptocurrency and a whole bunch of stuff. It's good. It's a good time. And then check us out on TikTok. Every day you'll find new content there. It's where the conversation is. We're talking about all this stuff. It's a good time. And then be sure to check out GameFAQs, GameFAX. That's where Full Clip is posting his video game content while you're at YouTube. Hit that with the subscribe. And I think that's everything. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week with more video game news. Bye-bye.